How can you say you are a psalmist and then you now have 7 backup singers? You have uniform, you are traveling on business class, charging people 5 million to come and perform. It's actually performance. The other day they told me one was charging 20 million, and now said, how much did they put the whole conference together? If they have to give you 20 million for coming to sing for 10 minutes, even God knows that some of us will not make that mistake, because I know God does not hear melody, God hears spirit. And if there's no spirit in you, there's nothing here.
I know a man of God, a mentor, who invited one of the gospel musicians. They are gospel musicians, not ministers. And what this guy called, I think it's 5 million naira. How much should the guest speaker, the priest who they brought to minister, how much will it take? How much does it cost to organize the whole program? How much did they spend? We've traveled to programs where I'll be the one to pay for all my men, and then we'll go there, come back, we won't take 1 naira from them. Nobody anywhere can say I invited Prophet Joel and he told me that before I come, give us this money. I go there sometimes, I'm the one who is paying the hotel bill for them. I can proudly say that. I know this thing, when it comes out they will hate it, but I won't apologize. You are fake. Go and pray. If what I'm saying is wrong, let the Holy Ghost tell you. Do not provide a pause for yourself.
Welcome to Pastor's Hub. Music ministers are under the attack again. The people are saying, why should music ministers be charging money for them to come and minister in churches? In this video, Apostle Michael Orokpo was saying that this is a big corruption. That is a corruption. How can you be charging 5 million, 10 million, 20 million to just come and minister for 10 minutes? He said it's not even ministering, that they are coming to perform, that you cannot distinguish them between worldly musicians. Saying that as a man of God, he goes to minister without charging money. How can music ministers be charging money, exorbitant money, just to come and sing? That this is the biggest corruption now in the body of Christ. Do you subscribe to that? Also in this video, you will hear what Pastor Nathaniel Bassey said. You know, he was sharing his experience, what he encountered even as he go out to go and minister. And don't forget, even he said it, that he has never charged a dime for ministering anywhere. He doesn't charge a fee to minister, according to him. Let us watch this together and learn something from it. Please send in your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. God bless you.
You who is singing song for 10 minutes and me who is preaching for 2 hours, who is doing more work? This is not a fight against anybody. We are all brothers and sisters, but we must address these truths. And then I'm charging money, 30 million. And when it comes to music minister, you think it's right. I have more than 40 staff on my payroll now. So it's not only the music minister that has staff. When a music minister wants to go for a meeting, he's charging money. It's wrong. It's wrong. You were not doing it when you started. Why must you do it now? Because you feel there's a justification. You are putting money on divine realities. When did you stop trusting in God and now trusting in your analysis? And when it comes to music minister, you think it's right. Imagine if they told you that they invited me for a conference and I said, you see, these messages, we have to refine them and put online. I need to come with some people and I pay them. Do you think I don't have staff? I have more than 40 staff on my payroll now. So it's not only the music minister that has staff. I have staff. So I'm going for meeting. I'll now come and charge and say, listen, I have staff, I'm paying salary. And then I'm charging money, 30 million. You who is singing song for 10 minutes and me who is preaching for 2 hours, who is doing more work? Even the Bible said the elder that rule is worthy of double honor, not the one that sing. It said the one that labor in word and doctrine. So if you think the music minister deserve honor, I deserve more. I labor in word and doctrine. What if you now hear that apostles are now charging 30 million and 40 million? What will you say? Is it because we don't have staff? We have staff. It's corruption. Listen, if it was God that exalted your horn, just go. The people will honor you because of the honor God has put on your life. And don't tell me that there are people who have swindled you. Sir, I have traveled many times, not just to Nigeria, many nations. Do you know what it means to travel for 2 days to a nation, preach for 3 days, and then when you finish, man of God tells you that we're having some challenge with account? No problem, I didn't come for money. And then after 1 month, man of God still sends you a message and says, sorry, there's challenge. I've seen it many times. So you are not the only person being deceived, but at the heart of it all, we know we are servants of God. We are not against honorarium, we are not against honoring people, but we are not merchants. We are not merchants, we are servants of God, whether music minister or preacher of the gospel. And so you who is a preacher, nobody should coerce you, or don't fall under the pressure of money and go to raise seed so that you can take your percentage. You are a wolf in sheep clothing. And you who is a music minister, don't go charging money to sing. You are not a performer, you are a worshiper. And don't allow the world tell us what is right from what is wrong. How many psalmists were charging money in the Bible? Are you the first psalmist? When Elisha said, go and get me a minstrel to sing, and he brought down the present, did you hear that the minstrel said, I need to be paid 3 cowries? We are trying to force what is wrong to be right with mundane justifications. This is not a fight against anybody. We are all brothers and sisters, but we must address these truths so that the heritage, the purity of the heritage of God is preserved. And sometimes, you know why ministers fight? Because the host will keep quiet. It's his account the money is going to. When they collect the money finish, host will come and say, you see, man of God, there are some debts we needed to, you know how these things work. But don't worry, you will now see 2 servants of God now fighting. I will deal with you. Is it not my grace that brought the money? So the corruption is not only, see, the reason we are addressing this thing, we don't have any issue with anybody. I relate with all these people, but I know they want to corrupt the heritage of God. We sing all their songs here because we know they are genuinely anointed, but I also know that a corruption is coming. Mammon wants to take over.
When they say, okay, how much you charge? You say, no, well, based on conviction, we do not charge any money. Not that we don't want money. So while we minister to you with our carnal gift, Paul says, if I minister you with my spiritual gift, shouldn't you minister to us in your carnal gift? So that's why he said to the church in Philippi, he said, you are the only one who has communicated to me as regards giving and receiving, therefore my God shall. So we tell people, we don't require it as a commission to come, but we welcome your giving.
For me, the tokens of my calling does allow that I charge. I remember God telling me the day you start charging, the well will dry up. Clearly. In as much as I don't go into why are you charging, everybody with his own dealings with God. But my dealing with God does not allow me.
I've gone to my wife to Côte d'Ivoire, packed the stadium. They charged tickets. Not as it was a ticketed event, but we went there because the person said Côte d'Ivoire is a Muslim nation and we want to bring the kingdom of them down. There's never been anything like this, so Israel Houghton, myself, I think it was on the papers, Donny, Nico Mullen, everybody packed in there. All right, big promises to everybody. And before the meeting, it was a real warfare because the guys, they didn't want him to do it. 2 weeks to the time, he was paralyzed, the organizer, but they still wanted to go ahead. And a few minutes to the time, the organizers came to us, and before that meeting, I'd flown my team to Kenya. I know this is what we tell people. So we went to Kenya with the team. I flew them there, and not charging by faith. When we didn't know the people, we went by faith. We finished, no offering, no nothing. And every time that happens, I bear the brunt, because I tell my team, I'm the one that has the revelation. You're not the one to suffer for it. So we take care of them. So we're coming back from a place where we had no dime. Then we went to Côte d'Ivoire, and again by faith. And a few minutes to the time, he said, sorry, there's not going to be an offering. We can't afford anymore. I told my team, we're here. I said, we're not going to minister any less. We'll fire on all cylinders. We finished from the airport, from the stadium. There was no protocol car. We found our way to the hotel room. We're about to check out. And then the hotel said, check out to where? They've not paid the hotel bill. I traveled with another Nigerian gospel music minister. She went with 11 people. I went with 9 people. So I went with 11. She went with 9. So we were 21. So this Ivory Coast, they locked us into the hotel. And this is not when I started ministry 20 years ago. This is about 3-4 years ago, before the Leah Challenge. So a volunteer was crying and saw the way we were treated. Said, you know what, I'll stand surety, let them go. We packed our bags, stayed outside, stopped taxis, put our monies together, went to the airport. We're about to fly. We said, you know what, let's even go, don't worry. You know, my wife was pregnant she's sitting here, for Zoe, you know, had a little son. And then we couldn't reach the people. She was you know, so hurt. And she, for the first time, you know, people don't know what ministers go through. My wife said, can you give me the phone to talk to them? I want to just pray for them. I said, no, honey, don't worry, you won't pray for them. So we're about to fly, and Arik Airline then, we went to check in. He said, where are you going to? He said, people don't have flight, they've not paid. So we sat down at the airport. Thank God we visited the ambassador. So we called the ambassador, said, beg Arik. So anyway, they begged Arik, they took us on credit, seized our bags. So we came back, we paid all the flight tickets for our team. And I wouldn't just pay a flight ticket, I would from my finance.
Music ministry is different from music industry. In music ministry, it's about rendering sacred service first to God and then the people. The Levites in the Old Testament were called to minister first to God and his people. But in the music ministry, it's about rendering entertainment. Say entertainment. It's different. In music ministry, service is the mentality. Say service. In music industry, you have a celebrity mentality. So when you are called as a music minister, you have a servant heart. But in the music industry, you have a celebrity mentality. In music ministry, it's about Jesus. Say it's about Jesus. In music industry, it's about the artist. The artist is the one in focus. In music ministry, it's about pleasing the Lord. In music industry, it's about pleasing the fans. Now, if you don't understand these things, then you act anyhow. In industry, it's about image, it's about your branding, your panache. But in ministry, it's about his name. His name is your brand. In industry, it's about CD sales, the charts, the hits. But in ministry, it's about his glory, the souls of men, and the kingdom. If you want to clap, clap. So how you see yourself determines how you act. So if you have a celebrity mentality, then you will have a pay me, I want to charge mentality.